He is a man of many lives. Some may argue he is the most interesting man in the world. The one, the only, the one-shot kid.
Get up! Ow!
I can't imagine the story without this old fart. He is easily a fan favorite, and in this video, I'll be going over everything you missed about everyone's favorite uncle. You might assume most of his stories are just complete rubbish, imaginary, or possibly even just nonsensical babble coming from a drunk old goat.
Charles, have I ever lied to you?
I hardly know you.
Exactly.
But you may in fact be shocked to find out that most of Uncle's stories are indeed true.
I ever tell you boys about the time I was lost in the Congo, became a living god for a few days? It's true. Entirely true.
Presumably born in the autumn of 1849, Uncle was forced to learn how to live hard on the street at the young age of 9.
Tough as arriving in a new city. Both your parents newly dead. No one looking after you except some scumbags you meet on the street. Folks starving, people desperate.
How old were you?
As 9 years old, I've been living on my wits.
There's a reason he's tolerated in the camp. The man knows his stuff. Though he's a lazy moocher most of the time, his past experience as a jack of all trades is of significant use to the gang, and even John himself later in the story. One particular previous occupation of Uncle's may in fact surprise you if you're unfamiliar with Red Dead lore.
Tom, is Uncle really your uncle?
No! At least I sincerely hope not. He's probably lots of people's father, though.
Uncle served his fellow male community as a procurer. In other words, he was a pimp, even recruiting workers for Dutch's gang. Some of the things he reveals in the hidden camp interactions confirms he indeed used to be a pimp, and a pretty experienced one at that.
Man, bunch of sour faces. Cheer up, the lot of you. None of them women got the class.
Just how in the world would Uncle know if any of the camp's girls have STDs or not? Either that hints at him being a customer or the owner and operator.
I was telling one of those lovely ladies just now, don't cry, sugar, I told her, because they like that. Anyway, don't cry, I said. Uncle loves you, and one day, you won't be no $3 whore. You're gonna be a $5 whore or a housemaid. Them's dreams. Of course, you boys and I know that ain't never gonna happen. She'll die on her back at the hand of some monster in the back room of some no-name saloon. Sure as shit is brown. But it damn near made her day. And she's out there smiling, so cheer up. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, not necessarily he owns any of them, but that just may be his role in the gang, given his past experience in the occupation. We get a quick glimpse into this pimp role Uncle used to play in the gang in the Chapter 2 mission, Polite Society, Valentine Style. I guess depending on how you interpret the context here, one could argue this is no indication of Uncle being a pimp, but what I see is Rockstar subtly adding more evidence to this theory. Just watch how the whole mission plays out. Uncle sends the girls to work while he observes from a distance. Classic pimp behavior. Something seems wrong, Arthur goes in and de-escalates the situation. Just a few years prior to 1899 is when Abigail Roberts was first introduced into Dutch's gang at the very young age of 18 years old. Who brought her in? Well, none other than, yep, you guessed it, Uncle. Kinda strange considering Uncle found Abigail in a brothel, but unfortunately that was her whole life. She revealed playing the piano in the cat house at just 8 years old in one of the domino games in the camp.
So where did you learn to play?
Saloons, dives growing up. By 8, I was playing piano every night in a cat house.
Really?
It weren't no life for a child, but I learned a few things.
For a short period, she was tossed around like an old dish rag before she finally settled on John. Whether Uncle had any involvement in that is up to you to decide, but what appears to be more than likely is that he was her event planner. The hidden encounters at Beecher's Hope give us more insight into Uncle and Abigail's relationship from back in those days.
Just remember that night that fancy Dan from the old country tried to slip out on you without paying.
That must have been there 10 years ago.
You twisted his balls so tight he's screeching like a plucked jaybird.
No, it always was the fellas with the most money who like paying the least.
Yeah, tough as iron, this one. Ain't she, John?
I'm getting tired of your mouth, old man. Why don't you try shutting it every once in a while?
Oh, who rattled your cage?
Are you as dumb as you look, old man? Most men got pride.
A more honest line of work Uncle doesn't get enough credit for was his ranching and farming days. Believe it or not, he really did used to be a real cowboy. Maybe a lazy one, but a real one nonetheless.
That weren't half bad for a couple of old reprobates.
I learned a few things while I was away.
Anything you wanted to know, you only had to ask me.
You? What the hell do you know about any of this?
I was a rancher myself back in the day.
Firstly, I don't believe you. And secondly, if you was, why have you been hiding it all these years?
We don't exactly see or hear much of Uncle's old days on the ranch in 1899, except for when he invites Arthur to rustle some cattle from the local farm he found. This is Uncle's moment to shine, by showing us all how it's really done.
Now, this don't seem to be going right. Let me help out. I'll keep up with the herd. Don't want them running off. Oh, one's got away from us. These stupid animals ain't going where we want them to. You all right here? I'll go get that one back. I'm moving up. We gotta shift direction a bit here. I better wait with the herd. Hold on, this doesn't seem like all of them. I'll round up the stragglers. You keep going.
His experience is definitely something I'm sure surprised Arthur here. Someone that may be surprised to learn of Uncle's useful agriculture skills is the Golden Boy. What John thought to be a nightmare turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Had it not been for Uncle advising John with his endless years of wisdom, I don't think he would have made it. It's because of that old drunk that John was able to build his ranch from the ground up. He wouldn't even have found Charles again.
Oh, shit! Well, we gotta go. We gotta go to Saint Denis. Charles Smith is alive, I reckon.
Charles Smith alive? Really?
I reckon. Unless I dreamed it all, and by the sound of it, not doing too good neither.
Or even potentially Sadie if Uncle wasn't at John's side in 1907.
I heard Sadie might still be alive.
Sadie? How'd you hear that?
She sent me a telegram. Said she's in Valentine.
Sadie sent you a telegram and you ain't paid a visit on her? What's wrong with you, man?
It's been a long time.
Oh, time. Sadie wants to see you. You go see her. Marston, really. Shame on you.
It truly is a miracle that he ran into him when he did. John, pretty much like myself, didn't have the first idea on how to build or even buy a house. Again, the old man with his great knowledge directed John and Charles to demolish that chicken coop of a house and buy a modern pre-cut one. His irritating personality may lack charm,
This man is very annoying.
but what you certainly can't deny is his value. Something even John admits after realizing much of what he was able to have for Abigail was mostly due to Uncle's guidance.
Why you let him stay?
He's actually been pretty useful, in a useless sort of way.
Of course, the famous barn that we all get PTSD from wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Uncle. At least it wouldn't have been constructed as quick if it were up to John. He'd be out there chopping trees to this day.
Oh, you don't build a barn, dumbass. What do you think this is, 1785? You buy one pre-cut just like the house. This is the industrial age.
Everything down to even the type of livestock they'd raise was decided by Uncle, based on which would be the easiest or best to own. All daily tasks to ranching or farming life can be seen being performed by Uncle, like milking the cows, shearing the sheep.
I'll give you a trim if you want. Tidy up those girlish locks of yours.
I know who's shoveling shit tomorrow.
Cleaning the pens and stalls, and tending to the chickens. In 1911, after John finally returns home, Uncle becomes a lot grouchier to deal with.
Don't you go blaming me, boy. Don't you go blaming me.
I assume that's due to just naturally his old age, or because of his drinking habit. Uncle's voice actor from Red Dead 1, Spider Madison, really did a phenomenal job at making Uncle sound a lot more unpleasant to be around, the complete opposite to his counterpart in Red Dead 2. The only character in the entire series to be voiced by 3 different actors. As we all know, the original Red Dead 2 actor, John O'Cray, passed away during development and was replaced by James McBride. Spider Madison also played a character oddly similar to Uncle from Red Dead Redemption in a film called Lookin' for Some Posse. I guess he was just born to play roles like this. Such a shame nobody knows what happened to him, but at least we have Spider's Gorge to remember him by in Red Dead 2. Any old TV Western fans here? And no, I'm not talking about Yellowstone. You must be crazy if you thought that's what I was talking about. No, I'm talking about ancient classic Westerns, along with some of the greatest names in history like Chuck Connors, Steve McQueen, Clint Walker, James Arness, and yes, even Clint Eastwood. known for his role as Rowdy Yates in the Rawhide series. Where I was initially going with this is if anyone noticed in the show Rawhide how much Uncle resembles the character Wishbone. This is most likely because Rockstar used Wishbone's character from Rawhide as a source of inspiration for Uncle's character when developing the first Red Dead Redemption, just as they've done for many of its other characters, which I plan to elaborate much more on in a separate video some other time. Uncle's age is never specified. All we know is he has been an old dude for like 40 years.
Well, why do you call him Uncle then?
Folks always did. Probably because he's always been older than everybody else.
He was old when I was a kid.
He was old when I was a kid, son. God must have had some purpose for keeping him on this earth. But I sure as hell don't know what that is.
We get a possible clarification on the date when he and Arthur are in the cattle rustling mission.
How old are you, anyway?
Well, let's just say I was born sometime between the fall of 49 and the fall of Rome.
His age may account for his disdain for the English. Looks like Sean is not the only one who is disgusted by them. America was still a young country when Uncle was being brought up, so there was more than likely still a lot of prejudices against the English. I can see how that explains Uncle's feeling for the British, as he's made it clear several times just exactly what he thinks about them.
I hate British folk. Silly damn voices. Stuff-shirted windbags.
Even claiming to have beat multiple up at the same time. A real loyal American.
The English aren't brave, Jackie. Now, I once beat up 6 Englishmen in a bar in Canada, knocked them all out.
Really?
Oh,
Why?
well, their accents just gets on a fella's nerves, you know. I'll tell you something strange that isn't in that book of yours. Do you know the English had talking horses?
You're kidding me.
I never lied, Jackie boy. I met them talking horses in Canada. Brian was his name. There's just one problem, though.
What?
Horses is boring as hell. Worse than Englishmen. It's true.
Shut up.
Say what you want, but you cannot deny his loyalty. I mean, who else are you gonna find that's gonna fight to the death for you? You're a good man, Uncle Morgan. It was because of Uncle's watchful eyes that gave John and his family a chance to prepare against the incoming wave of army soldiers. It's a pretty common part of missions with Uncle to see him acting as the gang's lookout. It adds character to the gang and makes it a little bit more believable knowing that certain gang members have better uses than others and are applied to those roles during missions, like Arthur being the vault man, Bill being the cover fire, Hosea being the talker, and Uncle being the watcher. There's a reason he's trusted enough to be the gang's lookout during jobs. He doesn't stick around to find out. He sees something wrong and warns us to skedaddle in time. His final resting place is foreshadowed in Red Dead 2 when he's seen laying down on the porch.
How's your back?
It's giving me terrible pain. I'm lucky I wasn't smoked through.
Sometimes he'll be seen joking with John that they'll never get rid of him and will probably end up burying him on the property.
Everyone seems to be leaving us. Charles, Sadie.
Oh, don't you worry, John. I ain't going anywhere. You'll bury me here.
Little do they realize, that's exactly what would happen 4 short years later. Uncle is pretty good at predicting the future, if you haven't already noticed. In this hidden interaction in Red Dead 2, you'll hear another one of Uncle's morbid jokes, claiming he'll outlive everybody in the gang, which, ironically, he manages to do, despite being the oldest member.
Imagine, when Jack's your age, it'll be the 20th century. You probably will.
At the end of Red Dead Redemption 1, Jack visits the graves of his family one final time before beginning his quest for revenge. A little to the right of his parents is the grave of Uncle. However, in Undead Nightmare, we don't see a beautiful send-off for poor Uncle, as there is no grave for him. I guess they were still upset about the whole biting and infecting Abigail thing.
Uncle! You dumb son of a bitch! Stop!
Some other things you might not have noticed about Uncle is that his room changes in John's house. In Red Dead 1, Uncle's room is straight across from Jack's, where the bathroom was in Red Dead 2. His room was found to be in the attic in the latter. I can't really think of any good reason for the change other than his room being an afterthought in Red Dead 2 after they made the bathroom in John's house. Speaking of things that don't make any sense, what the hell happened to his beard? Does anyone know why this weird glitch always happens in this part? Want to know what else is weird? How Edgar Ross's outfit in 1914 looks exactly like Uncle's. I don't know what that was all about, and to this day haven't been able to figure it out. So you can actually let me know what you think in the comments. What does it mean, if anything, as to why Ross is wearing Uncle's outfit? But outfits aren't the only thing we're talking about in the next secret. We're gonna need to have that talk in this one. While working on his ranch on a calm, lazy afternoon, John is interrupted by Uncle frantically seeking help.
John! John!
What?
Well, this is kind of embarrassing, but I need a few things for a home remedy.
A few things like what?
Oh, just some whiskey, peppermint, milkweed, some hair grease, and, some skunk meat.
What? What have you been up to?
Oh, it's a long story, but it really hurts.
In order to help with Uncle and his itchy, painful issue, we have to collect a list of ingredients and herbs for a salve he can make for his infected jalapeno. As a reward for helping ease an old man's suffering, Uncle will give John what I've come to call his one-shot kid outfit. It's unclear if this really even is an old outfit of Uncle's, but it would certainly make sense, a lot more sense, if it were. And a lot more badass if it were really the outfit he wore when he claimed to be the one-shot kid. This uncomfortable reminder, Uncle learned, encouraged him to warn Jack of the consequences for fooling around with the ladies of the night. If you listen closely to Jack's dialogue in Red Dead 1, while interacting with the prostitutes, he will mention how Uncle told him about women like them.
What we can do with it then?
Uncle warned me about women like you.
Also, while we're talking about this gross shit, what exactly was the salve Uncle was trying to make for that sore pee-pee? I've tried to do a bit of research on my own because the thought of this strange combination of materials just kinda creeps me out. I haven't come up with any plausible explanation, so if you have any experience with old remedies for the itchies, let me know in the comments what in the world he's making. But, you know, then of course it could just be nothing but Rockstar adding random things together for the sake of filler content. It is supposed to be a sort of comedic relief type mission. Compared to some of the other guns from different members of Dutch's gang, Uncle's are the best in my opinion. His custom Schofield revolver is way more metal looking than Dutch's or Javier's prissy ass looking guns. I absolutely obsess over that light brown iron with bronze look. It looks incredible and has been the source of inspiration for many of my own custom revolver designs. Lastly is that beast of a shotgun. Another example I always refer to for inspiration. My favorite shotgun right beside the one the hermit who killed Otis Miller carries. This design is probably the best on a double barrel shotgun. This and Red Dead 1's all black double barrel. You can also let me know in the comments which gun from the gang is your favorite. That'll let me know at least you made it to the end of this video. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Please don't forget, if this video was to your liking, give me a thumbs up, partner. It only helps me out. If you want to see more videos like this one, subscribe before you go and check out some of the playlists I have on my channel. I'm sure you'll find something worth wasting a couple minutes of your day. Let me know which character I should do next. I was planning on Arthur Morgan, but I'm of course open to taking suggestions. Turn on notifications so you'll get alerted each time I post a new video, since I know the algorithm may not recommend them as often. Until then, we'll meet again. Thanks and adios, homies.
I got smoked, John Marston. I got smoked for this place.
We all had our beatings.
Well, mine hurt more.